Stepping through the glass into a new life. 'Cause it's me and the slasher flame. Yeah, it's me and the slasher flame. Yeah, it's me and the slasher flame. And I'm gonna be to the show. Welcome to the horror show. Fingernails on the keyboard. Leave your heart at the door. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the final show. Fingernails on the keyboard. Leave your heart at the door. The final horror show. Stay fucking running, creeps. I was sitting in my basement, making funny faces, talking to a white TV. Static on the screen, and then I felt it, the static coming through me, and then I heard it. I heard the dead speaking to me. They said the dead will rise. The ghost cry. Welcome to motherfucking corpse talk. It's the fusion of dark and death. Stay a boiling anger in my voice. When I speak of the day my army will rise. Creeps, ghouls, liches and fiends, clawing out from the digital crypt we built. I don't have a problem with you, but if you can't handle dark humor, the part where you leave. This is the part where I scream. This is the part where you leave. This is the part where I join the horde or get consumed. Corpse talk's not a safe room! Let it be, as my blood soaks the sand, draining from me. My knees collapse and I lay there on the ground, wondering how many lives did I live to be in this place, to have all of these wounds that don't go away. It will be okay. We can try again. In another life, you and I will try to climb out of this dash. I close my eyes. I close my eyes. It's a cycle. I am the one that always dies when the maggots come to face and the vultures gather round. I hear the whispers of the people that I couldn't save. Say, not this we'll make it up. It will be okay. We can try again. In another life, you and I will try to climb out of this ditch. If only I'd known it sooner. There's more to life than dying for you, and I would do it all again. If only I'd known it sooner. There's more to life than dying for you, and I would do We can try
Hello, everybody. Let's get this going. How is everybody today? Oh, look, I just realized my stuff's not set up right. Hold on. Done. It's that easy. So, I was downstairs prepping ribs, because I'm smoking ribs after this. So it took an extra second to prep that out. Sorry, Kyle, about forcing you to buy something. It's nice, though, isn't it? The Fantix? I kind of want a couple of other tools, to be real. Did you look at everything they have to offer? I'm doing I have an old Oktoberfest from last year. From Three Floyds. And one of my birthday presents. Someone got me a ghost koozie. Bottle koozie. So, I'm gonna open this up. Of course I have coffee too, because I'm gonna need it today. It's been a long one. It's been a long one. Oh, I have been busy. Busy. Like, really busy. I got 2 proposals I got to put together. A bunch of meetings for 2 new projects. I've been working on a Thontia, because I really want to get that out here for the 20th anniversary. Because we did all the math and looked through all of our emails between me and Todd and them. It looks like the first email for Thontia was in 07. So I really want to kind of get it up and ready, right? You know what I mean? Just finished charging. I'll look later at other toys. Yeah, there's a couple things on there that I wanted. Let me find it here. I was watching Laura Comp. She does, she's a YouTuber that I really like. And she's like the LA janitor, and she talks about Fantix all the time. She has a bunch of them in her shop. I'm sure a lot of them are donated to her, obviously. Hold on a second, I need to... Oh, I got one here. I don't want my iced coffee to sweat all over the table. So I really liked how it looks. And then saw her using it, but then last time I watched, she had the air blower. Let me find it here. Here, we'll go over the page. Hold on. So, like, their inflator is supposed to be really good. Their portable one, that thing there I want. Hold on here. Let's get rid of this. Oh, I have to go through all these. You suck. Sometimes it doesn't register my buttons on Stream Deck for this overlay. I haven't figured out why. I have to go through and, like, click them all so it can check it and be like, oh, yeah, you do have that stuff. Oh, yeah, you've been using this for countless years now. You're right. Shit, I'm so sorry. Except they never apologizes. So, like, that level, that auto level's cool. This is cool. That pump, I guess, is really good. And I got a bigger one. But that vacuum cleaner and blower. But look at this tire inflator. Look at these sets. And they're not that bad, like, price-wise. I think the big one's like 100 and something. 200, yeah, $200 for this big-ass one. But the Fast Like a Beast, milliamp hours is pretty good. Storage for all your parts. It's a power supply and a pump, all in one. But it's made for like pickup trucks. I'm really interested in this. It's not only worse than a flat tire. And I have a pump that you plug into like your aux, but not everything has an aux right now. Like the new car I'm looking at getting right now, I don't think it has an aux plug in it. Like a lighter plug. But this thing here is on clearance. They're cleaner. Oh, this is a tire inflator, sorry. Well, let's go back. Car vacuums. This is what I was talking about. I guess this thing is fucking awesome. It's 4-in-1. Really tempted. I'd probably get it in the red to match the... Oh, you bought the red too? I just noticed that. Kyle, do you like your tools brighter too? Do you like your stuff a little brighter on the brighter side? I do. I always try to do red, like my other headphones over here, which I need to replace the pads on because they tore. But my headphones I take with me are red. And then I have a bunch of screwdriver sets that are red with like my Milwaukee stuff that I have. And then my Ryobi stuff is all green. But the vacuum, this is the car vacuum. Let me pause the music here. Check this out. I know we're tabletop. Easy to find. Yeah, certain tools I like easy to find. Picking up the phone on that's pretty dope. The easy clean. And for like all those little areas, and then it has a reverse. It has a mini inflator if you need it. And then you can also vacuum seal with it. Right? Like, that's pretty solid. And I was like, that's pretty cool. It's a 4-in-1. 4-in-1s are nice. But then I was looking through all of them, right? And then they have the... Is this the combo one? Where it's the tire inflator and then the V10? So where's the V10? This is the electric screwdriver that they have. And then this is the tire inflator and foldable car vacuum. And this was really cool. But I don't know if they have a video for this one. Look at that thing. .210 swivel on it. Makes me happy. I like cleaning my car a lot. Like, I only have the necessities in my car. Maybe this has the video. Yeah, this has the video. We'll turn it down a touch. Now, this one has a charging station, so put it next to the door. That little one you can just leave in your car. I love that, though, because the footprint's so small. It's got low and high. Let's be real, it's all you need. Look at the shit that's in there. And such an easy clean. I don't know. I was impressed with it. But for vacuuming inside of a car, obviously a shop vac is always the best thing. I wish they built a shop vac. Dude, if they had a shop vac, that'd be so hot. But anyway, I digress. They're easy to find. I agree. I just remember when my dad's tools are always black. Oh, I just went to the wrong one. Bats, fix this, please. Bats. Bats. Are you not going to work today, Bats? Are you going to go to the, Kyle, are you going to go to the expo in Chicago? The fan expo? I know there's a lot of Star Wars stuff there. Chance I might go. It depends on when Jen leaves to go to Atlanta to see her family. I'd like to go. I haven't went to the fan expo. My neighbors are going. They're big Star Wars fans. I'm looking at the other things. The big tire one looks good. Yeah, the big tire one is the one I kind of want, man. I like having I always have an inflator in my car. Always. You never know what's going to go bad. Or you go to put the spare on, the fucking spare's flat, dude. Oh, God. There's nothing worse than not being prepared. There's just nothing worse. Really, really is not. Really is not. So we have a couple things to look at today, getting on with Corpse Talk Live. Our buddy Nick, he did his Kickstarter. And it flew into the first day, which is super cool. Oh, look, more spam. Let me tell Cree that we're going to go over the Kickstarter, too. And then we're going to go over Western Reaches, which is the Shadowdark, one of 2 books. Oh, dude, Kyle, I'm sorry, man. I'm doing the same thing right now. As soon as I'm done with Buds this summer, I need to find something that's a good gig again. I feel ya. What are you working in right now? Cabinetry? I can't remember what you said. Or CNC? Something like that, if I remember correctly, right? No reason to suffer at a job, but job market is rough right now. It's not easy. It's not an easy market. CNC machinist. That's what I thought. I thought it was CNC. Is that a little easier job to find? Because it's a nicher field? Is it a little easier to find stuff in it? 10 years. Yeah, we're gonna go over. I think it's Kumonosu. I think that's how it's pronounced, Kumonosu. We're gonna go over that, and then we're gonna dive into the Western Reaches. YT back no notice says, yeah, I don't know why. Somebody else told me that the other day. Just make sure the bell has all of them on, and it'll start sending them again. Once in a while, if you're not there, it'll go through and turn notifications off. It's fucking stupid. It should not be allowed to do that. But it's because they only want you to get notifications for things you watch. Because if you're getting notifications for things you don't watch, you may go through and turn all your notifications off. That's their thought process. Oh, really? That's cool. Kumonosu. That's what I said. Kumonosu. Yep. That's right. So we're going to the work page. So I already backed this. Obviously, fan of the show. And I've done a couple casts together, teach people all about fonts. And just everything to do with, layout and Shadowdark in it and all that kind of crap. So I wanted to make sure that we at least looked over it. No video. I was surprised you didn't do a little animated video of some form, bud. Love the Idle Hands logo. Adventure Rocks, it's a venture. The Konosu adventures are about escaping the Drow trade city Bansunen, I think is what it is. Through the womb of the spider god's tunnels, caverns reach the surface, and the Shadowdark attempt to prevent it. So we're going to be doing an escape through a place, which is awesome. I love Drow stuff. You guys all know I'm doing the 8-Legged Queen right now. We're just on the same track. It's 4 adventures. And they're picking up where Curse Scroll 5 left off, which is really cool. Big gap here. That's a really big gap. I love these covers for the books, man. They really turned out good. They look like they're all related to each other. You got a nice little sets of your escaping it and what it is. Didn't have time to get a trailer done. Oh, I wish you would have called me, bud. I would have made one for you real quick. And that's the one thing I'll tell everybody. You always have time. You don't ever have to rush these things. You're better off taking the time before you announce it, personally. Like, we're getting ready to do a 90-day run-up for a Kickstarter right now, and we just started talking yesterday about it. Gap is where the Rune Forge video is. There's no video there. Not showing for me. I'm not blocking videos. So what else we got? Super clean. I love that you made him look like beat up. Your Band and Hope, level 1 to 3. This is the one. Is this the one we played? No. Lost People. This is the one we did. This is the one we did on stream for Breachers, everyone. I love the colors and your choices for stuff. All the art feels good. Really open, airy layout for a lot of stuff. I mean, I can check it on my other screen. On my other thing here. Give me a sec. Oh, it's just not showing up on this one. Let me try refreshing it. There it is. I didn't know Runeforge reviewed your stuff. That's awesome. He's a good dude. I refreshed his shows now. I noticed that I pulled it up on my other one. So we got the one we played in that second area. And you're showing a lot of these. I love the omnibus style piece. This is super cool. The kind of everything together into one. I'm excited for this. It'd be dope if these letters and these letters were embossed at bubble letter style with a gloss to them so they stand out and everything else is kind of a matte look. That'd be super awesome looking. Oh, awesome. The handler, Nick. Oh, nice. I've never seen this piece of you. That's cool. I don't know if that's new. Made by idle hands, not by ugly robots. So we got the bare knuckle, the single knuckle bone, the $30 digital footprint, 6 the handprint, 60 one hand clapping, 110 the idle hands, which is everything. I think I did the 60 where I get the physical reward tier. What is the omnibus? All the add-ons. I love the fucking horns for it. The classes, which I have a lot of these already. Did you go glow in the dark for this dude? Did you end up doing glow in the dark? Please tell me you did. Please tell me you did. I want this to be glow in the dark so fucking bad. And I love the Cult of Chroma. I'll be using that on all my stuff. Shipping and taxes in the US. Really clean, dude. Timeline. All the adventures are written and laid out, and fleshing out the city of Bansunen and building the layout for the omnibus. It's its own book, so why not get fancy with it? Assuming I don't add any extra adventures or rewards or stretch goals or something, should be able to be ready for the Kickstarter is over. Below is estimated timeline. So early November, hopeful fulfillment. That's awesome. Are you going to fulfill these yourself? We're expecting to fulfill before GTA 6, jokes aside. Look, it'll get delayed again. It's never not been delayed. Congrats, man. I'm glad you're already funded. I already put my pledge in for mine. Gotta support the peeps that I've worked with on all the lovely contests and shit. and you only wanted 500, you're already at almost 4K. Time to talk some stretch goals, baby. Time for some stretch goals. But anyway, I thought that was awesome. You funded first day. Feels so good when that shit happens. Now you get to deal with all the background stuff. There's a lot of stuff people don't realize when you are doing Kickstarters, like when the pledge manager can be turned on, when it can be turned off, all of that shit. You get to deal with all that. If you have any questions while you're doing it, reach out. Now, you might have to pivot. So, speaking of Shadowdark, this is the book I think most of the players have been waiting for. This isn't the one that I was waiting for. I'll be happy to do that, Nick. I really, really wanted the GM one over the Western Reaches player's side. But I knew, as a designer, one, the GM stuff's the hardest part to write. And I think the most time-consuming. So I had a feeling we were going to get the player side of it first. And that's what we got today. We got the player side of it. Nick, I don't know if you've looked through this yet. I don't know how many people in the Shadowdark. I should probably post over in Shadowdark that we're going to go through the Western Reaches. I know it's been out for like a week, a little over a week now. But I probably should post over there that we're going to dive through it and talk. For anyone who might be interested. Let me go over to Shadowdark. What is it called? The Shadow Legion? What does our patch say? Hold on here. Shadow League. Well, we're going to be going into it today. I was going to say I'm popping in quick. And then, Nick, when you're ready, we'll have to have you on. We'll do a Corpse Talk live. Or a Corpse Talk, like, talk show. And we'll go over your omnibus and all that stuff once it comes out. It's for the second push. Like, after this part, we can do a second push for it. To sell the product once you have it done. Well, so popping in quick, since there's been a ton of chatter on the Discord about Western Reaches. Western Reaches first look. Also, congrats to Nick. Say at why are you so hard to find on here, Nick? Oh, because it's Korean. I'm a fucking dumbass. Hopefully I don't get flamed for putting that up. So, we should talk all the crazy things that are in the Western Reaches, right? Like, we need to go over everything that's in this Kickstarter before we start talking everything else. So this is the setting. This is the official setting for Shadowdark. And I know people have really been waiting for this. I have been waiting for it, but I'm waiting again for the second half of the book. And the zines. I was really waiting for the zines, too. And we've looked through the zines that have come out, all 3 of them. We've reviewed all of them and done first looks on all of them. But we haven't looked through this yet. It came out, I think, not this Sunday, but the Sunday before. I've been super busy with work. And this is the player's guide to the GM's guide. So there's going to be 2 books in this set. They did a little kind of like overlay of how everything overlaps and what is going to be in everything. A lot of people were freaking out that we're just seeing a reprint of all the classes and a collection of all the classes in one spot. And I have a few things to say about this before we dive into looking at it. Okay? 1, there's nothing wrong with collecting all the classes from all the books and putting them into one book and making it one place to find it. 0 wrong with that. First and foremost. If you have a problem with that, then you obviously either didn't live or didn't collect zines in the past. When zines get popular, you're printing them in a zine style, that small style, because you can print them quickly, and you can print them cost efficiently, and you can make an item that someone can walk away from your booth or a store with, you know, and it's bite-sized. But then when things get popular, and you know what is doing well, you will collect those zines up into a collection, or as Kriya's done, an omnibus, and you collect all that stuff together. And all that stuff goes into one book. It also gives you a chance to refine any of things from those zines. Now, there are a few things that I really enjoy when this happens. And to Paizo's credit, I have to give it to him. When they went from PF1 to PF2, they kind of told us, hey, we're going to be changing everything. It's a full new system. But when they did 2, and then they went to whatever the new collection is, the master's version, whatever it is, they gave us a list of things that were updated. And if they updated PDFs that were recently put out, and they weren't going to reprint them again, they just gave us those PDFs again. I'm hoping, since a lot of these classes have been around, that she didn't go through and do, or the team at Arcane Library, didn't do a lot of adjustment to the classes. And I hope that these zines, the little ones, especially for a player that might just be playing one thing out of that zine, if they're just going to play the Gladiator and they just have the Desert one, they're still viable. The other thing I like to tell people, I know this is sacrilegious, they're your zines. Fucking write in them. I write in a lot of my books and zines and things like that. Honestly, some of my favorite things that I have bought from a secondhand store is when I get a book that has something written in it or notes from that person. There's something awesome about seeing the thought process behind somebody else who has touched and used that gaming book or novel before. Everyone's worried about, oh, it's a collector's item. Guys, chill. Not everything has to be a collector's item. I'm not going to write in my collector's editions. I'm not going to write in this piece here. I'm not going to write in that. That's super expensive and old, this piece here for Fantasy Flight Games. I'm not going to write in that. I'm not going to write in the DCC down there that's the metallic print. This one right here. I'm not going to write in that. I may put post-it notes in it. Things like that. But I highly recommend, like, just if new errata comes out, just put a little line through it in pencil right next to it. Pencil lasts a really long time, everybody. Doesn't fade. Get yourself some of these. Get yourself some Black Wings. I love the cat, by the way. Those who've never seen these before. I like Black Wings. They last a long time. I write with them all the time. And for all my nerdy people who do scenery for miniatures and shit like that, hold on. Do I have it in here? I don't. It's over there. I have a entire container over there of little tiny pencils because I use those to etch foam when I'm making terrain because they're easier to hold and do. I learned that watching an old train dude back in the day who was doing pink foam, and I think now he does green foam because green foam, the cells don't recompress. But anyway, keep all your little pencils. Keep all your little pencils. So, that said, let's take a look at the Kickstarter. Let's talk about what we're going to go over and go from there. I'm excited for this one. So this is our Kickstarter. I'm just scrolling through it. I backed this one at a pretty high level. I think almost anyone who did wanted everything. But this is the collection. The new GM screen is dope. I can't wait for it. I don't know if I bought the cards, actually. But you got your player's guide and your GM's guide. And you can see them opposing each other. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. It is super hot here today and super muggy, and my allergies have been a bitch. So you can see the 3 zines, which are the core, the player's guide and the GM's guide, right? And that's the concept for what we're getting. See, this probably had a video here too. Let me try refreshing it. It did. Weird that these... There must be a YouTube thing going on. So you can see the books. This is what we're getting. And then in the guide books, here's what they are. It's approximately 200 pages each, digest size, A5, black ribbon bookmarker, Smithsonian lay flat binding, which I love that. Western Reaches is a pair of guidebooks that combine and expand all the Curse Scroll zines 1 through 6 into a giant region setting. They had tons of new material for players and game masters to connect it all together. Player's Guide and Game Master's Guide to Western Reaches are a perfect shelf match for Shadowdark RPG core rules featuring what I said before. It's a sandbox style. They're showing you all the flip through of what's in it. The Player's Guide is what we're looking at today. So the Western Reaches has every official character option from the Shadowdark RPG released outside the core rulebook, as well as a bunch of brand new material. This includes 18 character classes, 8 ancestries, all gear lists including boats, mounts, and poisons. That's important because those have been spread across all the zines, right? Lore, religious tenets, holy symbols for each of the 9 major gods. So we're getting our first kind of growth of the deity and the pantheon that is Shadowdark for us. New secrets and background tables for characters from the Western Reaches. And then new adventuring factions. Characters can join and add benefits. I really love this section. I've already read through chunks of it, but not all of it. And I wanted to be able to talk about this more intelligently than just the first look. And then gossip and everyday knowledge about the Reaches rather than lore dumps. Excited about that. I really want this. But it's not what we get today. We're doing the Player's Guide. I know somewhere there was an overlay of how all the books were done. And I think it was in one of these. Let's just kind of flip through here. Because one of them has a really good overlay. There it is. So here's the overlay. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. So the Western Reaches books and the Cursed Zine overlay. Okay? And they're talking about what was in the original, right? What is getting expanded, and then what's new inside the Western Reaches book. I wish they would have put this out of the gate, but I think they weren't far enough into dev to know right away. But this lets you know what we're looking at. So all the Curse Scrolls 1 through 6, right? And then Western Reaches is Starter Adventure, Unified Hex Map, 3 classes, 2 new ancestries, new ancestry names and trinkets, 10 new hex crawl regions, unified weather mechanics, learning from special NPCs, expanded deity information, character factions, new art for most classes, broad Western Reaches lore, character secrets, new character backgrounds. And now you got things that are carried over between the 2, 1 through 6. And you got to remember, only 1 through 3 was out. 4, 5, and 6 was part of this Kickstarter, and we already have those. And those are listed here. So just remember, those were also new. But they want to show what's shared. So you got boat rules, mounts, gear, new hex crawling rules, Zine 1 through 6 classes, Zine 1 through 6 spells and mishaps, all Zine crawls, and then Zines 1 through 6 monsters. That's what we're getting. That's the overlap. Okay? I think it's important that we know what's in the product before we, get a little worked up. So, with that said, get rid of this. We're going to do this how we always do. We're going to scroll through this together, everyone. And then I'll do a 15-minute, 20-minute recap of what is in here. I do want to say this, though. I'm really happy with Foxit, the PDF reader. I've been using this a lot. I've been working primarily in Affinity now. I have left the Adobe ecosystem short of short of the image library because I have assets left I need to spend. And once I finish picking things up for a couple projects coming up out of there, I will get rid of my Adobe image selection as well. I refuse to give them money anymore. And between Canva, which is my $15 a month subscription, and this, which is $5.99, so $20 a month, I've replaced Adobe for $80. The only thing left I need to do is I need to buy DaVinci Resolve. I've been using CapCut for in between right now because I don't have any really big video editing projects, and CapCut gets it done, although I hate the desktop version. Foxit has been really good. And my favorite thing about Foxit, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but when you can't. It's only the one frame. There is a view section that you click. Maybe you can see it. Oh, you can see up here. There's a view section you click, and you can click like, I want to go 2-page scroll, and I want it to be like this. And you can see the inside covers and everything else, and then go through it as a 2-page spread. I think this is really smart. It's so clean. It's so well done. So you got your forward, your introduction, your contents, and then you get into it. All of this stuff's hyperlinked. So if we click Memnon, it takes us there. It's really, really cool. And then if you go to view on top of that, there's an option here where you can vertically split, horizontally split, or spread split. And it shows views of the document without scrolling. So you can be looking at a page, keep that page there, and go to another one and compare things within the doc. Does that make sense? It's really cool. Then you have your regular single page scroll, or single page scroll, and then facing 2 pages side by side. And I think this is the one we're going to do for this, because I feel like this is the way you should look at Shadowdark. Like, legitimately. Because everything is container design. Container design is something I know Nick and I preached about a lot in a couple of our shows. But I really do believe in that style. So I'm going to zoom in 1. So, I'm not going to read through everything in here. We are definitely going to hit up the new ancestries. We're going to look over what changed in the ancestries. We're going to look at the new classes. I have some favorites in the new classes. But I do want to read the introduction. Because I want to know what we should be expecting, like looking at this. And I think I'm going to read the forward as well. I'm going to read the forward. I'm curious. Hail Adventures, welcome to Western Reaches. You found yourself in the land of fragile civilizations, majestic landscapes, and secrets lost to the dark. The realm of mystery and wonders is yours. It is a place to behold explorers who dare to lift a torch high in the face of an overwhelming night. Nick says, "Council is the best." Here, I'm gonna rearrange some stuff here so that I can have a larger view here, and so that I'm looking at this instead of looking off the side of the screen. Council is the best. It's up there. It's up there. The Western Reachers will be shaped by your hands, warriors and witches, mystics and mages. You who are true seekers, you who follow a hawk across the burning desert, who chase a river from its humble wellspring to the mighty crash into the sea, and who watch the dawn break from atop the mountains. You will discover who you are as you explore the realm. Will become the land's protector, its conqueror? Will its people sing ballads or dirges of your deeds? There's only one way to find out, of course. There are many unknown paths that lie before you, and there is but one thing to do: find your way. Within these pages, you'll meet your beginnings. What you will become is being written even now as you read these words and grasp your destiny. So light your torch through its small flame in the dark and let it be known. You are here, a fabled land. Kelsey Dio, February 2025. So, a lot of stuff in here. I love it. It's classic. It feels good. The return of OSR, I didn't think I was going to be happy about because I was always looking for the next new thing. But the more and more I am going back to roots, everyone's a nostalgia person. It's not about nostalgia for me. It's about giving the control back to the GMs and less about it being the argument like miniature games about what you should and shouldn't be using or what's okay and what's not. I got so tired of arguing over rules and 3.5 and 4th edition and Pathfinder that the freedom to be able to create, and not because I wasn't doing it anyway, but that the player's expectations is that the GM is going to be making things. That's what I wanted again. That's what I want. So the back to the OSR days, that's what's come back about learning the story through playing, not just reading. And don't get me wrong, fans of all my writers from Pathfinder 1st Edition. But I'm really excited about this style of play for people that be doing emergent kind of play because that's how I run my games. It's how I run my live streams, and I want that in my games. So what do we get in here? What's the introduction? What do we have? What are the Western Reaches? The Western Reaches are a place of dangerous fantasy adventuring where heroes can strike out to explore the land, find incredible treasures, and make a name for themselves. This official Shadowdark RPG setting combines all the world-building material from Curse Scrolls Zines 1 through 6, CS 1 through 6, love they're saying that, and we know how to abbreviate it now, into a regional setting that can be traversed from top to bottom. The Player's Guide to the Western Reaches, PGWR, works with the Game Master's Guide to the Western Reaches, GMWR, to outline what players and GMs need to know to run and play in the games in the Reaches. If you're a player, you'll want to avoid the spoilers in the GMWR. This book is all you need. It will orient you to the Western Reaches and help you build a character ready to explore them. How to play in the setting. Check out the overview chapter first, page 11. Let me see, is that hyperlinked? It is. To learn some everyday knowledge about... Oh, wait. It's hyperlinked. Sorry, I got a drink. Everyday knowledge about Western Reaches. You, as a player, will know what the typical character in Western Reaches knows about the world. That's it. Not much. The Western Reaches are meant to be explored and discovered using sandbox-style gameplay. That means the Game Master will supply you and your adventuring party with rumors, leads, mysteries, but it's up to you to decide the threads to pull. This is a hard concept for people. If anyone's trying to run a Western Reaches, players making the decision on where to go and what to do when you tell them that it is their job to make decisions. They are so trained right now by fucking 20, 30 years of pre-written adventures that hold your hand in the story and railroad that this style is weird. But I think people are getting a lot better at it. They're really kind of getting the idea of a sandbox game through the help of things that are OSR, like Hyperborea and games along those lines, where they're going back to the roots of exploration and learning through doing, instead of who's the NPC, what's the next hook, what's the next MMO thing that we're doing. And for honesty, the MMOs are built that way because there's no way to deliver an emergent experience like this where you're immersed in it and you just do whatever the fuck you want. While MMOs kind of have that, they don't 100% have that. You still have to follow quest lines. In this game, it's pretty freeform. Play with your GM, play well, write a story together, but it is made so that you can just enjoy the game and really dig around and find the shit that you and your party want to do. It just is. I like it. So, in the Reaches, your fate is your own hands. Your story will eventually become a legend. The later chapters in this book contain character building rules. You can also use the official Shadowdark RPG character builder, Shadowdarklings, which, by the way, Shadowdarklings is amazing. I use it all the time. So what do we have? Forward contents, what everyone knows, life in the Reaches. I mean 12 to 17 is a small section for what players know. Dwarf, elf, goblin, we've always had. We have half-elf, half-orc, halfling, human. Now we have kobold ancestry that is in here. What else is new? Is it the half-orc ancestry that's new? I bet you it is. Basilisk Warrior, we got one of the Cursed Scrolls. Delver class as well. Desert Rider. Duelist is one of my favorite new classes. The Green Knight, I have not read yet. I left that for air. Knight of St. Idris, we had gotten the very first zine. Karzan Archer class, I think that's new. Monk is new. Necromancer is new. Awesome, by the way. Very different take on Necromancer. If you did not watch Kelsey put this together live on air, Kelsey went through and did a design with the group. Same thing with the Paladin class. Really cool to see how designers put their thoughts together, because every designer builds differently. But when you look at the person who made the system we're playing, it gives you an idea of how they determine limitations in a class, and how they solve things. Like, I'll always remember Ben from Knave talking about how magical items should be solutions to problems, but they should be like an open solution. Like, a movable rod is the best one. It's a rod that you can put in the air and it's solid. Those kind of magical items are better to me than a +1 magical sword. They do cool shit. They do cause arguments at the table, but they do cool shit. So I think that's pretty fucking awesome. Then we got Pitfighter Ranger, Razgode. This is the assassin class. Roustabout, one of my favorites. You all know that. Seawolf class, Seer, and Warlock. Pretty cool. Oh, more. Witch, Weirdling, and then new backgrounds. Secrets. I'm really excited to see secrets. We all know that I'm a secret person. I'm excited to see that. Titles and factions. Factions I'm also really excited to see as I'm designing breachers. I've already designed out what a breacher guild is, but I have some other guilds that I want to do, like the Candlemakers. I have a really cool idea for those. The Tome Wardens, which is a new class I'm working on. I have a really cool organization for those that are elven. Because you fight with your tome encased in metal. It's like a metal book. It's kind of like this, actually. It's like a metal case on a chain, and you fight with that. It's made of a metal that they've not been able to break. So that's going to be kind of cool. And then gear, basic weapons. We'll see what's new in there. Siege weapons. Cool. We have all the new spells. Necromancer has new spells. I think Priest got some new ones in here. Seer, Witch, Wizard. I wonder how many new spells got added in the 121 through 186, besides the new classes and new mishaps. Gods and Patrons, I think that's going to be important. This is the first time we're seeing what those all are. And then we get into the gameplay stuff. From 125 to 248, we're getting new hex crawling rules, climate camping, fast travel, travel procedure, renown. We already kind of saw renown in Curse Scroll 6. I want to see if it's just a reprint of what it is or if there's some new rules. Carousing, bastions, and warbands. Bastions and warbands, I believe, are both new. Great new art. What everyone knows, this is the breakdown. This is very simple. I love that it's kind of a bullet point. Reaches are ancient. They're far away. There are faraway lands. It's dangerous out there. The world ends at least the sea. The world ends at the last sea. Ooh, there's nothing else west of the coast, just the last sea. Rolling on into the mist. Some say if you keep going, you eventually arrive at the shores of the gods' realm. And you can ask them one thing, but you never make it back from there anyhow. No king has ever ruled at the reaches. The gods are distant. Ancient spirits and beings dwell here. Magic is terribly dangerous. Non-humans aren't very common. Most of the reaches are unexplored. Nick's talking about his Kickstarter. Okay, hold on, Nick. Hold on. Here you go. He's talking about this. Already funded. Nick, you didn't answer me. As a quick side note, buddy. Is this shirt glow in the dark? Is that glow in the dark? Because if it is, I'm getting one. If it is, I'm buying that shit. For chat, here's the Kickstarter for Cree. If anyone wants to help support. Nice. You let me know. You probably have to go to a private print shop. You probably can't do POD. Or you go through Printful. You contact POD and tell them you would like to do a print run that way, and they can usually set it up. So, Anyway. Life in the Reaches. I love that they did the random tables for ancestries. Right? So you can roll. I actually really enjoy that. Heading home from your appointment? Nice. Points of Light Western Reaches is a point of light setting where there are small pockets of fragile civilization, usually in the form of self-governed towns and city-states. Cool. Might makes right. No overall rule of law. Street justice prevails. Bandits, monsters, thieves, and those who roam in the wilds. Western Reaches, often acting with impunity against the weak. Civilizations. And then, like, City of Mask was one of the last, I think it is the last Curse Scroll we got. Elkesh is an area, I believe that was, is Elkesh the desert one, I think? Bright Oasis, yeah. Stonehall, Dwarf King, Kaizen, Steps, Lydone, Aloof Elf King, and then Social Structures, also a really good piece, Stingbat. And then we get into our ancestry. So we've always seen Dwarf. I'm gonna blow my nose here. Hate my allergies. So we've Dwarf ancestry. Oh, I like the trinket tables. What do we got? Someone roll D100. What's our dwarf come with? Do they change anything? Still the 2 HP, roll hit points, available advantage, that stayed. Name generator. Nothing else stayed. I thought maybe we were going to get a second option. I've been designing my Breacher ancestries with a second option for ancestries. Just like the next level up and stuff. I mean, I'll do a D100 if you aren't going to do it. I'll do it. Oh, Nick beat me to it. Damn it, Nick. How dare you? What we got? A 14. You have a stone chiseling set. Elf ancestry. Trinkets for them. Goblin ancestry. What are the 2 new ancestries? It's not half orc, is it? It's not half elf. Maybe it is half elf. Huh. I'll have to look. Bonus attack damage rolls. Halfling, stealthy once per day, turn invisible. Human, gain 1 additional talent. Kobold, you get +1 to spellcasting checks and may begin a session with a luck token. Holy fuck, that's pretty cool. That means in Shadow or in Breachers, they get an extra Breacher point. It's the halves? A Kobold, too, right? I thought half orc was already in. I thought the half was already in. Let me look. Of course, I got it here. We can look. You might be right, Nick. Page 16. Half orc was in there. Half elf was not. Half orc is the one. Yeah, half orcs. Yeah. I couldn't remember if it was actual orcs or half orcs. You know, I love ribbons in books, but man, do they always get mucked up. Tempted to iron this one. Because they get bent and like crumpled. I hate that shit. Pretty cool. I like the Kobold. That's really cool. Kobold Trinket. What was the other D100 we had? I think Serving Hands rolled one. A 2. Ball of Wax. So the Bard class has been around for a little while. We're not going to look through that. Cool art. Basilisk Warrior, very cool class. Delver is great. The whole concept of the Delver I think that was in the green curse scroll, right? Delver was? Or was it in the red? One of those two. You expend the last of the consumable item you carried since your last rest. Roll a d6 on a 5 or 6. You regain 1 use of that item because you found it as you're scavenging. Great. That is such a well-written, non-game breaking skill. They're not like you just get it. You don't just get it. You just... There's a chance you found that piece again. A pipe. A torch. Is that every single item? So if I use a torch, a python, and ball bearings, do I roll again for that? And does that count for arrows, bolts, everything? Holy fuck. That's really fun. Trailblazer is kind of like the rogue skills, except it's for physical things, understanding languages and shit like that. And then trusted gear, choose one type of gear you can wield. You gain +1 plus, so you get 1 plus half your level rounded down on all checks, attack rolls made with that type of gear or weapon. Then you gain 2 gear slots and an additional trusty gear, which is cool. Really fun class. Great art for it too, just kicking your way to victory. This was in the second one. The duelist class, everybody. This is top 3 classes for me in the game. It's so fun. It's so fun. Hold on here. Let me... D8 hit points, leather or mithril chain, daggers, all swords. Once per day, an attack of your choice that would hit you misses. Because you just parry that shit. Inigo Montoya. Like, you just... parry it, right? But, Tail Spinner. You may make a DC 15 check. If you pass, unknown people around you believe you are famous and important for the remainder of your interaction with them. Same individual cannot be fooled by this twice. There's no duration, just can't do it twice. But you could literally walk up to somebody and be like, Inigo Montoya, have you not heard about me? Have beat many people fighting with my offhand. Like, any bullshit you wanted to do. And then they have Taunt. And this skill, I think, is the one that I feel like they had to rewrite numerous times. And they finally nailed it. When an enemy misses you with an attack, you have advantage on attacks against that enemy next round. So someone swings, you jump back and miss, you parry and riposte, badoom. And then their abilities they get is once per day, all attacks that would hit you this round miss instead. So you get 1 more use. Duplicate, every time you duplicate 2, you just get another use. +1 to melee attacks and damage rolls, or +1 to parry. Choice of which one you want for the day. Pretty cool. Plus strength, dex, con, charisma. Plus, deal 1d6 damage when you hit with a taunt. So if you parry, the guy swings. Technically speaking, if you parry, that person misses you. And the verbiage says, if you hit with a taunt attack. And the taunt attack says, when an enemy misses you with an attack. So if you parry them, taunt them, stab them, you can hit them with all your extra d6 damage. Such a, like, non-rogue with the extra damage ability. I love how these kind of, like, fit together because of the keyword of mist. Really fun. Green Knight is new. Green-clad knights of the deep wood in armor of an antler and bone, protectors of Geed's realm from the unnatural. I bet you Glass Cannon wishes this was out. The demonic and the destructive. Weapons: bastard sword, bastard sword, crossbow, dagger, great axe. Great sword, hand axe, spear, and staff. Hold on. I want to go back to the duelist. I want to highlight this. How do I pull up my highlighters? Highlighters. There should be... I am still learning. I am still learning how everything works. Comments. There we go. Text. Duelist. I want to make sure I hit that. I want to make sure I talk about the Green Knight. Is there a way just to make this a sidebar? Shift H? What? I'm gonna have to put that on my mouse button. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Hold on. No. We gotta make the button do what I want. So my thumb rests here. I want this button. We're gonna make it do. Shift H. Done. So I have the Apex. What's this called? The Apex wireless Xerox 9, and it's got all of these buttons on the side. I use them for editing in Photoshop and shit like that. Well, now in Infinity. But I just added Shift H to one of them so that when I'm looking at sexy PDFs, I can now highlight it and hit a button, and it just does it. I shouldn't have been so excited about that, but I fucking am. I'm so excited by that. Thank you. Thank you for being a competent PDF reader and editor at Foxit. You don't suck. So anyway, they get bastard swords, crossbows, daggers, great axe, great sword, hand axe, spear. All the things I would expect a Green Knight to have. Also, if you haven't watched that movie that came out from A26, is that what it is? Fucking wild. Armor, all armor and shields. D6 hit points. Oh, I guess because you have all armor, they're giving you a little less hit points. Your deity has to be Geed. You know, silver. 3 times per day, activate your turn. Negate all damage you take until your next turn begins. My highlighting dreams have come true. It's true. It's so true. What do we got here? Well, it gets rooted. 3 times per day, activate your turn. Negate all damage you take until your next turn begins. Oh, wow. You can just fucking shrug off hits. Spellcasting. You cast druid spells, you know. See page 166. Each time you gain a level, you choose a new druid spell and learn according to the druid spell's known table. Use your wisdom modifier to cast druid spells. DC is 10 plus a spell tier, so no leveled up. They are a spellcasting class. When you fail the spellcasting check, you can't cast that spell again until you do a complete rest. If you roll a natural 1 on a spellcasting check, can't cast that spell again until you complete penance according to Geed's demands. That's right, all the gods have their own demands now. On a 2, once per day, step into the tree and exit from another. They get tree stride. 3 and 6 is melee or ranged attacks and damage. 7 is their 7 to 9 is their stat bonuses. 10 is a stat bonus or a bonus to spellcasting. And then 12 is choose a talent or 2 points to distribute. I like this class. I'm curious about the spells. Here's your spellcasting. You get nothing at first. You don't get a spellcasting until 1. Or until 2. Knight of 8, St. Idris, same style. We know he's a badass. We've seen him before. Our archer class. Our monk is new. This is new. Cool. Still quiet monks in the light linen garb undergo intense physical mental training. They get staff and strikes, armor none, D8 per hit points per level because they have no armor. Eye of Yag-Kesh. While unarmored, add your wisdom modifier, so that they're keeping that it's wisdom and dex to your AC, so you need those 2 stats. It's a 2-stat class, which we've not seen a lot of in this. Fist of the Moon God. Your strikes are 0 magic weapons. They count as magic. That means you can hit spirits and shit at level 1. They deal a D8 on a punch, and they become +1 at 2, 2 at 4, 3 at 8. So you get magical weapons, and you can box, and you hit automatically, you hit magic weapons, and then they get increased as you go up. Huh? Okay, I'm impressed with the pause. I'm impressed with the power that Fnatic Rotary Tool has. I played on a PC, a piece of hard maple. I didn't expect a 4-volt to have that much powerful. Dude, I know. I was drilling metal with it. If you got the right bit in. It's fucking wild. It's really cool. They also make one that's in a box that sits on your desk that you can open like a little tool chest. It's strong, dude. It kicks some ass. I'm talking about the rotary tools that we picked up. And there's some locking stuff you can do with the button too, so make sure you read the instructions on it. It's got like a power lock that you can set the speed that you want, so you can't bump it on accident and speed and pick it up or anything, or fuck it up and make it faster. Still heart, you can stop your metabolism for a total number of rounds per day equal to your level. You gain the following benefits for the duration. You do not need to breathe, okay? Delay the onset of any poisons until the effect ends. Oh, that's huge, because if you get poisoned and you go down, you don't get rounds to live. You basically die. If you drop to 0 hit points, you do not fall unconscious or begin dying until this effect ends. So you can keep yourself up and fighting, even just beat to shit. You can keep fighting for the rounds equal to your level. And then Sun on the Water, once per day, when a melee or ranged attack misses you, you reflect it back to the source using the attacker's bonus. Awesome. This is a great way to fish for the GM to tell you what the bonus of a guy is. Right? 2, once per day, double your movement for speed for 3 rounds. +1 attack and damage. Your stat 1. Gain an additional use of Sun on the Water. Choose talent points to distribute. Awesome. Fun. Very Dalsum looking. Balancing on his staff. Really cool. The Necromancer class. Nick, were you happy with the Necromancer class? I really love her interpretation of a Necromancer. It's closer to what I see my Gravelighters being like from Fontia. Not identical. Fear mystics who see beyond the shores of the living world, these warrior mages guide the dead to their final rest or call them back from its dark waters to walk again in life. Crossbow dagger, longsword, scimitar, staff, stave. Wait. Is there a difference between a staff and a stave in this? And gear? Hold on. Hold on. Weapons. Cancel. Well. Oh yeah, there's a difference. 5 SP, 2 gold, melee, close, D4, D6, two-handed, S. Sundering. When you are hit with a melee attack, you may destroy the weapon to negate all damage from the attack. What the fuck? Is this like hardened metal then? Oh, that's cool. So you leather and chain, D6 per level, death sense. You can sense the location and the general nature of undead and dying creatures within near of you. Nice. River of Death. Your spirit has walked into the ethereal river and you have learned to resist the pull of death. You do not die at 0 con. And you roll a D6 for your death timer instead of D4. Great. Yeah, I never realized that staff and stave were... I just always saw people use them interchangeably, but that's cool to see them as gear differences. Spell casting. You can cast necromancer spells you know. You know, tier 1 spells, so okay, they're a caster. Each time you gain a new level, you choose a necromancer spells from according to the necro spell list. Use your charisma modifier to cast necromancer spells, so you're commanding things. And then on a 1, we have to go to the mishap table. Wizard casting. 2, next time you die, you return to life full HP on a 2. And you get an additional use every time. It's a 1 use, but you stand back up from death. And then +1 to your spell casting level, +1 to melee attacks, +2 to strength, gain advantage on casting spell you know, talents. Very cool. Paladin, really happy with a paladin, really fun. Crammed a lot into a paladin. Paladins always have so much stuff in them. Steelclad Paragons of Knighthood. I'm going to mark... Actually, let me mark Necromancer. Right? Let's mark this to make sure I'm talking about it. I should have made one of these bottom ones. That button's a little hard to hit, but still. Steelclad Paragons and the Knighthood. So they get Bastard Sword, Dagger, Greatsword, Javelin, Lance, Longsword, and Short Sword. I'm curious to see how she did her Lance because I made my own. All Armor and Shields, D8 per level. So you have Chivalric Oath. You swear an act with integrity, humility, and chivalry. You must honor and mercy. You give honor and mercy to those who are deserving. If you break this oath, you lose your inspiring presence and named blade talents until completing a holy quest or great challenge. Inspiring presence. Allies within near of you arise from dying on a roll of 18 to 20 and gain HP equal to your charisma bonus. Okay, cool. 18 to 20 rise instead of 20. That's really fun. And more hit points when you get up. Enemies in the near of you lose immunity to morale checks. So they force... That is elegant. That is elegant as hell. Genius. You have a warhorse with a lovely demeanor. Page 14, 114. It comes when you call. You can only have one such amount of time. Your mount has additional levels equal to half your level, so they get stronger. If you lose your mount, you can use your downtime to acquire and train another. Pass a DC 15 charisma check with a new warhorse to become your mount. Lower the DC one step on each attempt. So if you keep doing it, it gets easier and easier. At first level, you gain a sword of choice. It's a +0 magical weapon, similar to the monk. You already have a magical weapon start. And then it goes up at 2, 5, and 8. Up to a total of +3. When you reach 3rd level, it gains a random magical weapon benefit. Oh! So for those who don't remember, they have this here. I wonder, does this open? I was wondering if it maybe would force this book open. But on 293, you got these tables where you can grab a magical ability. We use those during Breachers all the time. But it lets you get some magical features for your game. So, very smart. I like that a lot. What are talents? Your name. This is breaking the 2-page spread motif a lot, though. I don't know if anyone else is noticing that, but it's a lot of like art not next to the class anymore and things like that. And I don't think I have the view fucked up. Oh, I do have the view fucked up. There we go. Cool. Pit Fighter, we've seen it in the old one. Still one of my favorite art pieces. It's over when I say it's over. Ranger class, we've seen this before as well. They're the ones that get the herbal remedies. This is the Assassin, one of the more complex classes. Roustabout, one of my favorite classes. Seawolf, we've seen as well. Seer, we've seen. Warlock, we've seen. Witch, we've seen. Weirdling is new. It came in the purple Cursed Scroll. You get the pseudopod thing that you can hit people with and stuff like that. And then new backgrounds. And they have them by location instead of being just regular backgrounds. So you got desert, swamp, island and ocean and grasslands. Mountain, forest, all this kind of stuff. Really like the extra backgrounds. And then secrets. So when someone give me percentiles, what is the secret for our dwarf that we have? I love that they did secrets. They are some of my favorite things in the game. They are a D100 table. There are 100 versions of them. And then they put all the titles together as well, which I was missing. I didn't do titles. Have I done titles for all my classes now? I think all my classes have titles. They're fun. I will always remember making a game with an old buddy of mine who was really into like first edition D&D, and he enforced that as you level you get titles, and I didn't understand it. And it's so that when you are speaking in the game, you have a way to say what you are. So if you're a monk of neutral nature and you're level 7 and 8, you're like, I'm a silver soul, a monk of Yagkesh, and you can say the things that you normally wouldn't have that data for. I think that's really cool. 88. You helped your friend in a heist, but took the fall for it. Well, fuck. Super fun. What are the titles for Necromancer? Oh, actually, Green Knight. Wait. Sapling Weed Seedling, Summer Sun, Winter Wind, Spring Rain, Verdant Knight, Blighted Knight, Rose Knight, Master of the Trees, Master of the Thorns, Master of the Roots, Mighty Oak, Weeping Willow, Wise Elm. I like that. That's actually really cool. Apprentice, Adept Seeker, Walker, Weeper, Watcher, Guardian, Reaper, Guide, River Master, Death Master, Gate Master, Angel of Death, Undying One, Arbiter of Death. Awesome. Really cool. Wait, Rouseabout has titles? Huh? Really fun. Oh, that's a cool witch piece. I don't remember seeing this before. What's this? Is this like a hangover? What is that? I think they got a little piece. Oh, that's the signature of the guy. Factions, baby! So Factions is something I think a lot of us have been looking forward to in Shadowdark. Like, really looking forward to it. Oh, I'm gonna turn this on. Some new White Bat music. So, factions are organizations PCs can join that have specific missions and bylaws. They have leadership. There's an NPC leader who holds final authority over all the factions and members. New leader must make a DC 15 charisma check for a peaceful transfer of power. On failure, the faction splinters into two conflicting organizations. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Joining, PC can join a faction. Standing, PC must be in a good standing. And benefits, combine the levels of all PCs in the party who are in the same faction. This is a common misunderstanding. I saw a lot of people talking, saying that everyone had to be in the same faction to be a part of faction. It's not how that works. It's PCs who are together working in that faction in the party put the levels together, or it's just your own. So the more people you have in it, the better the faction gets. And I say that, there's a faction generator, by the way. Genius. I say that because, like, if you look at the bards, total levels, membership benefits, you're not going to get past 10 on your own. Right? You would need 4 people in a faction to get this bonus at level 10. Yeah. PCs remain in good standing with the faction. Combine the levels of all PCs in the party who are in the same faction to determine which faction benefits they gain. Only members of the faction gain its benefits. So, and I don't know if your renown counts towards your faction. That's something we'll have to take a look at. But you have the Bards, the Jeweled Eye, which I love this one. The Scarlet Bones. Scarlet Bones is a chaotic pirate faction. The Society, chaotic faction of power brokers. Little lithid looking, or is that an owl? No, that's an owl. It's like Court of the Owls. The Torchbearers, the Wolves, and then you go into your own. So they have this, and you can roll your own up as well and make the bonuses. Not hard to do. City-state presence, what goes on, so on. And then new gear. Everything from all the books are put together. All the weapons, the armor, the poisons. I don't think they added anything new in here. The poisons are new, though. I think that's new. Common poisons. I noticed that most poisons in games are the same. You got a couple made-up ones, but most of them are the same. How they work. Tinctures, powders, oils, and glasses. Poisons are difficult to procure and are usually illegal. Common, 20 gold per dose. Uncommon, 80. Rare, 150. An untrained user must pass a DC 12 Dex check while employing a non-edible poison or accidentally poison themselves with it. Only living creatures of level 10 or less are affected by poisons. So monsters over 10 don't give a fuck. We have all of our mounts here. These we've seen before. I think these are all the same. I don't think anything got added into here. And then they have their personality. Most mounts need to make a morale check. Remember, you have the friendly one, or lovely, immune to morale, loyalty, and intelligence. So this is that one that your paladin gets. And then they got little stat blocks for them. I do sometimes wish we got a little more art for like things like this, but not always. I don't care that much. You know what I mean? I don't care that much. Did he put out a new royalty-free Morning Mist? I don't want Morning Mist radio. We'll do Containment. White Bat just putting out the bangers, baby. Blast. So Siege, Weapons, and Boats. Oh, Boats. I did want to go over this. This exists in the Viking one. Passengers of a boat can carry a number of passengers. A boat can carry a number of passengers equal to its hit points. Again, I just want to say, what an elegant solution to everything. You know what I mean? I don't know, Nick. I get all the content, but I like a little more art for some things. Just a little bit. I love monster art and creature art. I would have liked to seen a span across the top of all of the different mounts lined up for size comparison. I think that would have been a really fun touch. Things like that, I really would have enjoyed. Necessary? No. Do I want it? Yes. Passengers hold their standard gear, do not occupy the boat's gear slots, which is great. Repairs take 1 week, cost 1 gold per hit point. Everything based on hit points is so fucking smart. Speed, the number of hexes the boat can travel in a day. The boat may move near, which is cool. I put a boat in the Eight-Legged Queen. Pretty fun. But a boat can carry a number of passengers equal to its hit points. It means I need to go back and change it. Because my boat has way too many hit points there. So, real quick. Where's my Eight-Legged Queen? If we go down to... I'm really enjoying this 3/4 design style, too. It might be how I do all of my... my stuff for Shadowdark in an A5. And then 2-column, just the final fight. So my boat has 50... No, it doesn't have that many hit points. How many hit points does the boat have? 30. So really, it needs 4. Because I said it can only carry 4. So I need to go back and do that again. Which I'll edit that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that down now. On here, because I need to remind myself to do that after the show. Eight-Legged Queen, 4 HP boat, because of the new rules. Cool. Learning, fixing things as I play. Really like that. Boat sinks in 1d4 rounds at 0 hit points. Fun. Speed. Number of hexes it can travel a day. A boat can move near in combat, which I did that. But its siege weapons can't be fired. Oops, sorry. Then you got your crew. If it's fast, if it's a galley, if it's whatever. And we said that it's a piece of shit with no rowing, so someone's got to have to swim behind it. Or make a oar. Oh yeah, I don't know if everybody got to see this, by the way. I put this out for the Gen Con version for patrons. But in the back of this, I have my new art for the Clawful that I did. Kind of grungy, stitched up, and then the cover for the Queen as well. I went really dark with hers. I didn't want you to see like exactly how she moves. I want it to be kind of all over the place. Just numerous legs, numerous arms stitched into her body. She does have a thorax behind her like a drider. You just can't see it. And then the what's left of the wedding gown that she's wearing covers like the front of her, because who knows if she has actual parts or anatomy. She's so fucking frightening looking. I made the longer elven ears. I didn't quite go Lodos Wars. I almost did. She's got the crown. I did a couple versions of her, but I was really happy with this. And then she's got weapon pieces like wrapped around her legs because they're all stitched. She made herself. Well, and her maidens made her. Super fun though. The only thing I forgot is I said she was wearing a chainmail dress. So I should have made this look like chain, but I'm not going to redo it. It's too much fucking work. I already did 2 versions of her. So siege weapons. I don't know if I've ever read siege weapons new. Siege weapon ammunition costs 1 gold per piece. Occupies 2 gear slots. Assembly, it takes 10 rounds to assemble or dismantle a siege engine. It cannot be moved It cannot be moved while assembled. Siege weapons occupy 30 gear slots, so you're gonna need wagons. While dismantled, it can be split up. I did that for our breacher tents in our campgrounds. Operating, one operator must use their full turn to reload the siege engine. It cannot be fired that same round. Ballista. It's 150 R range, far, 3d6, and it's got exploding. If you roll the maximum number on any die, roll that die again and add the total. I love that we have exploding rolls. Exploding rolls are always fun. I'm kind of excited about that. Magic. This is where we get into all the spells. Necromancer spells are fucking sweet. I remember reading through a lot of these. I just want to see if any of them are new. Create Undead's tier 5 to create. Do we have an animate dead? Animates 3. Cool. I love that they collapse into grave dust too, so you can't just keep making the same skeleton. But I can see a cool magical item like a mithril boned skeleton where it doesn't collapse into grave dust, but you can't use it again for 1 day, and then you can reanimate these magical bones to always have a mithril skeleton you carry with you. Or adamantine, little Wolverine bones, little head nod. The 5th gate. Wow, okay, so there's a lot of new spells. And Necronomicon got a spell! So fun. So fun. Priest spells. These are new priest spells. Oh, they're by... What? We got spells based on your alignment now. Oh, okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to... Hold on here. I'm seeing some things that... I'm gonna have to open up Mem. I didn't think I was gonna have to do this today. Hold on. CT Live. Slash today. And slash today. Now, I can't really give you guys any discounts on this because it's not out yet. So we're just kind of winging it. You know, we're just looking over it because it came from Kickstarter. But I do need to put... We're not doing any news, but I do need to put notes here. So we should definitely mention that priest spells are alignment. And I'm writing these down because when I go to do my talk, like at the end, the 20-minute version, it stops me from forgetting shit. It's that simple. We should talk about the kobold. We should talk about favorite classes. Those are highlighted. Okay. All right, cool. I want to make sure that I'm adding these notes as needed. I like this music. If you haven't been using Mem and you're interested in a second brain kind of feel and a way to do your notes, it's still my favorite. It's just clean and simple and gets the fucking job done. Oh! So they did chaotic, neutral. Alright, I like that a lot, actually. Really fun. Seer spells. What is that? Oh, Raven. Does it have hands? Oh, this is the feathers, okay. Uh-oh, Thor's Thunder. Is that a hammer? Thor, cast down. All your witches spells are in one spot. There might be some new ones in there. That seems like a lot compared to what I remember. Oh, fuck that thing. Wizard spells. And now we have the druid stuff here, right? And that's what the Green Knight uses. And then mages, and this is new stuff for mages. Correct? Oh, no, lawful. Weird that they... Why would they have done it this way? This is a layout thing I don't understand. Why would they have put this in this tiny print, but when we saw Priest, they just put it... They just put it at the top. I don't know why they didn't do this. Because you got Priest and this. That's a weird... Maybe because they have Druid? Because these are neutral? That's what it is. Because Druids are neutral. I would have put it next to it, I think. Or right underneath it. Weird layout choice. That's just me being picky and asking question. Mages is the lawful version. I bet you Sorcerers are the chaotic version, yeah. I see. Weird layout choice. Your mishaps for diabolic stuff. Necromancer mishaps. Pretty sweet. Gods and patrons. This is a highly wanted thing. I know everybody has wanted to know how the gods work in this setting. So they gave every god, I believe it's a 2-page spread. But what they didn't do, I would have loved a pronunciation. Right here. Like if I go to comments. Druids are considered neutral in many editions of D&D and other games. Like they are neutral in alignment instead of good or evil. They are almost always neutral. So like I think that right here extra weird tree huggers. Yeah, that kind of druid. So right here I would have loved the pronunciation. You know what I mean? Can I just add text? Like this. Right? I think that would have been awesome to have here. I want to know, how do I edit this now? No, I don't want that. Is it edit? Select? I'm trying to learn. I'll just delete it. But anyway, right there. That's what I would want. I would want pronunciation there. Here. I'm the Lorax. I speak to the trees. Yeah, right? So I think that would have been a really cool kind of thing to add there. They didn't do that, but I would have loved to have seen that. So you got Lawful Goddess. They tell who she is now. Her tenets. Into the Reach is what she does. And then your spell penance. Cleanse all rust, rot, and damage from your equipment. So like if you do something wrong for a spell tier 1 failed. Spell 2 tier failed. Spend a week applying a ritual tattoo onto your skin, detailing the specific law of the covenant. 3, fully rebuild and decay or crumbling structure anew. Find the being of great chaos and evil and destroy it. And if you fuck up a level 5, locate a lawless settlement, convert their leaders to Madeira, and enshrine their laws in written form. But even the trees can have their own agenda. Yeah, well, M. Night taught us. Fuck M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalama ding dong. Your holidays, and then a prayer generator. By the writ of law, her word shall defeat chaos. Saint Taragnus, this is the one of the big ones that they've been talking about every time I watch Glass Cannon. I really have been enjoying Glass Cannon Shadowdark. Really have been enjoying it. I think it's their best one so far. I really, really do. Something's just clicking now, and it's getting better and better and better. So the tenets again, the reaches. Strength, Taragnus embodies the righteous. This is what we've seen before, slightly increased. Give aid to the alms of the lowly person in need. Seek the legendary foe of extreme evil and dispatch it. And then theirs is like, give thanks. The holy fire will drive out evil. Really fun. And then Geed. They argue about the gender of Geed. And in Glass Cannons, and now for sure says her smile, just to kind of put that there. Really fun. Again, they have all this here. It's the best one they've done, Nick. I really believe it is. They've done a really good job with it. I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I would. And then Ord. Memnon. One of my favorite deities. Yeah, we're just so far behind. And I'm sure they had it about a month ago. Shun the Vile. I love the holy symbol work. Ramlot. This is the same one. That's a god of war for them. That's my god of undead. It does say goddess, right? I know. The chaotic gods, which is lost in their holy days. The bloodletting, which will stand at the edge of the sea in winter and let the blood of human and animal sacrifices into the water. And patrons, my boy Memnon. Yeah, oh yeah, we'll go back to that. Memnon, here's everything from Memnon. Says, I forgot you played Memnon. Your cleric of Memnon. And you just brought your character back when we were playing Living Wall. I need to schedule some new ones. It's just so hard in the fucking summer. But Memnon, the harbinger of destruction and disorder. Super fun. All things fall to decay, and all must be eventually be made unmade. Memnon's followers wish to see kings cast down, monuments toppled, and cities reduced to smoking ash. Cruelty and hatred are the destructive flames of Memnon. His tenets, his beauty is useless waste. Ugliness is an affront. Burn the beautiful and the ugly, so only purified ashes remain. Laws. Oh yeah, we do. That's right. We did second chances. You survived. You survived second chances. Really fun. Memnon's prayer. You want to give me 3d6 and get your Memnon's prayer for your character. What would Memnon pray? I love their spell tier penances too. Burn or destroy an object of sentimental value. Like, oh, can I see that picture of yours? And you're like, and light it on fire and burn it. You're like, Memnon, we burn the pure and the clean, so that only your ashes remain. And the person's like, that was my mom. It cost me 200 gold to get that painted. I can already see it. Oh my god. Holy shit. That's so fun, dude. I'm gonna mark that we should definitely hit up the gods. Oh, I need them separate. Oh, I guess I can highlight it and I can see it. Hold on here. It's 3, 5, and 5. So, with his wrath, cast down our foes and render this world to ash. The lost, and then the patrons. Patrons are the ones that warlocks and I believe witches use. So you have all of those as well. I can read it. I just gotta highlight it. Well, you can do it individually if you want. We can go back. I don't care. 1 by Memnon's Lash. Gotta do more. Come on. Do it again. Might as well. And we're at 199, so we're almost through this book already. I feel like a lot of this is stuff I've seen with smatterings of pieces I have not. One 3 by Memnon's Lash. May rot and ruin. All right. 3. May rot and ruin, shatter all bonds. Oh, there's a lot in here. Odin, Oros, Rathgamon, Saint Idris, Tatiana, Shun the Vile is a patron. The Willow Man, they put it in here. Willow Man boons. Teleport to a far location you see as you move. Far location you see as you move. He's Slender Man. That's cool. And gameplay. So this is where we're going to get into the things that I believe, and Nick can confer, all the updated stuff. Right? So, hex crawl. How to handle the hex crawl. Can I get that written out? Sure. Hold on. Absolutely can. So, by Memnon's Lash. By Memnon's Lash. May rot and ruin. Shatter all bonds. There you go. I'll put it in here. You're going to make that a quote? You're going to add it as a quote? All right. Let me get back through. So anyway, hex crawl. Their updates. Okay. Even so, the hex crawling, because I know she didn't love the hex crawl that was in the core, or she didn't get to fit everything, so she wanted more fit. 6 miles across, the PCs can enter a number of hexes per day based on travel method. PCs move hex to hex as a group while traveling over land. Check for random encounter twice per day and twice overnight with a 1 in 6 chance each time. Roll a d12 to determine what time of day it is. So now you got weather. I did like the weather stuff. On a 1, it's stormy. And like, there's something cool in this coming up. On a 1, it's stormy. Normal terrain becomes difficult for 1 day. And harsh climate, page 12, terrain becomes impassable for 1 day. On a 6, the weather is excellent. Roll with advantage. So if it's really nice out today, or is it, no, really bad out? Is it, 6 is weather is excellent. Roll with advantage, because then you get a chance to, like, it stays good for the next couple of days. I thought this was a nice use of the 1 in 6s and a really fun way to weigh the scale a little bit. You know what I mean? Mounted walking, sailing. That's pretty normal. Food and water, PCs and mounts. I love this too. A PC can forage for 1 ration during the travel with an int check. They have rules for pushing. But they also talk about, there's somewhere in here where harsh weather for food, you have to eat 2 rations. I remember seeing that somewhere. Must consume a ration per day, 1 con damage, death at 0. A PC can forage for 1 ration, pushing 1.5. There was somewhere I remember seeing that they have to eat 2 rations in bad areas. Might be climate, actually, that does it. So we got new climate rules. Harsh climate. And the reach is table entries with the dagger. Forage and hunting's in 18. It's harder to do. Underground season. When season changes on the surface, PCs far underground must pass a DC 12 check or take 1d4 charisma challenge changes. This is really smart. When you're underground, there's really not a season change. There might be some temperature changes, maybe, but this is to show the idea of kind of what Alaska even goes into, where you start to kind of lose your ability to deal with people as your charisma just kind of takes a dip from being underground, and you get sullen and sunken, and you're not doing so well. I like it. I like it. Camping rules might have been in here. Campfire 3, unless you are a dungeon chef, because that only takes 2 then. Only takes 2, which is cool. 1 less torch. Bed down, wisdom or con. You do not need to make checks to benefit from rest if your sleep is uninterrupted. Cooking, int, or wisdom. Each PC who consumes a ration gains +2 temporary hit points the last 1 day. That's kind of cool. Craft. 2 pieces of mundane weapon ammunition or 1 torch. Hey, we're getting the rule for making torches. Get firewood for campfire. Hunt. 1d4 rations. Keep watch. Cannot be surprised during 1/2 of the rest. You choose which. Predict. Int or wisdom. You may force a reroll of tomorrow's weather. That's actually kind of fun. I can see the seer doing this kind of stuff. PCs make task checks in any order they choose. After resolving tasks, the GM follows normal resting and random encounter procedures. And then fast travel, which is what we kind of do for Inside the Wall. The GM may allow PCs to fast travel between 2 hexes they have previously entered. The PC must travel between these points through hexes they've already explored. They can't pass through unexplored hex. Time, the GM estimates the time needed for the PCs to reach their destination per table below. The GM should factor in a travel method, mount, sailing, etc. When needing a specific time length, roll 2d6 per estimated week of travel to determine how many days the journey takes. And then it tells you how many rations it is. And this is nice because it's cutting out all of this rolling because you've already done it. So you're like, hey, everybody, you guys have done this travel before. You've already been through here. Your path is already locked in. Let's add in the fact that you're finding food along the way. It's going to take 1 to 3 rations, and you're good. PCs must eat a minimum of rations required and available. PCs cannot eat the required number of rations arrive drained. Drained, you take con damage equal to half your current con score, rounded down. You have disadvantage on checks until you do a full rest. PCs can make an int check. GM sets the DC based on the region and climate to scavenge during the journey. On success, the group avoids arriving drained. Really fun. Then they have the travel procedure. Procedure is everything in these kind of games. The fact that we have a procedure now and they're actually calling it that is smart. So it's weather, visible hexes, travel method, travel speed, traveling encounters, resting encounters. And then renown we got in book 6, Curse Scroll 6, but we're getting it in here so everyone can do it. Does your renown affect organizations? I would hope it does. I'm not seeing any orgs. PCs may add the renown bonus to the reaction rules when they are in a location where they're likely to be recognized. Double ones always result in hostile reaction. When we get our new downtime rules, we've talked about this when we went through the other one. I love that they put this in here so the players have all of this in one place that's accessible. Spiritualism was there, skullduggery was there, martial training was there, magical research was there. Carousing, they brought the carousing bonuses in. Again, really fun. I argue that this shouldn't be in here. I feel like carousing should be in the GM's book. Because I don't want the players to know what happens. Because if they roll something, a lot of the times you have to twist the wordage because of where we are. And I would rather see this on the GM side. Does that make sense to everybody? I don't want players knowing that, like, this could be in here, maybe, so they know what the bonus is based on what they spend, but I don't want the outcomes, and I sure as shit don't want these. Maybe that's just me as a GM who likes to handle the storytelling elements on the backside. But how it works, I should explain. You roll a d8, you add your renown, plus any money you spent for a bonus, and in doing so, each player rolls, and then that determines what you get. But what I think is each participant rolls. So it's like, you know, a 3, a 20, whatever it is, and it tells you if you get a benefit, if you get a modifier, D100 modifier to get something better because it's weighted. And the XP. I don't switch the benefit and oh, you mean to make them fit? Yeah, sometimes I do. I usually look at the bracket of 3. So if somebody rolls a 35, I'll read 34. Like, you learn you have an anonymous source or ally helping you. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'll just use it. But that doesn't make sense because you're a fighter. I might do a swordman offers you a free downtime martial training. That's better. I'll do those little brackets of 3. But I don't want this in here. Bastions I do want in here. This is great. Part of old D&D, an old OS, what is now considered OSR, old school style role-playing, I really enjoy players getting their own place. The idea of doing this. I think we saw Bastions in something else too, didn't we? Or is that brand new? I can't remember. Do I have notes over here for it? No, I don't. I thought I had some notes written down when I went through the other ones, but they're not in there. But I don't remember if Bastions was in here, but it's pretty cool. AC, HP is included into this. The Bastion's walls are breached or at 0. Ordinary weapons can't damage Bastions. You have to have siege weapons or destructive elements like fire, or huge creatures like giants can. Spells, I think, should have been included in this. You know what I mean? Like destructive elements or magic is what it should say. That's just me. (5E24), and they were in Letter in the Dark Volume 4. Okay, so not her. So that's new to here. So this is her renditions of Bastions, which is great. Repairing damage. The Bastion takes 1 week, costs 1 gold per HP restored. Great. We're carrying over what we saw from boats, another structure, our vehicle. Upgrade. PCs can add an upgrade to Bastions by paying its cost. Each upgrade takes a week to build. Limit 1 of each upgrade per Bastion. Safety. Bastions provide safe shelter from weather, climate, and random encounters. That's the big ones. And then disasters. Each month, roll a d6. On a 1, your Bastion suffers a disaster. Roll on the disasters table. I like that they added that. I have the Bastions book from MCDM, which I actually really enjoyed. House, typically domicile. Outpost, fortified camp. Keep, 60-foot tower, 3 walls, supports 1 siege engine on the roof. Castle, 30 high crenellation walls around the keep included. And inner courtyard, walls fit 8 siege weapons, including trebuchets. And then you got a disaster, and then you have the cost of these, which is a great way for your players to spend their money. You know what I mean? And then you get the Bastion upgrades, and then they all have a description. Avery's cool, send 1 message per day via pigeon. I kind of think a travel time would have been great for flying. But anyway. Then you got warbands. Warbands is also new. This gives you combat. You know what I was thinking of? Mythic Bastion Lanes has all this shit. So small armies you can utilize in mass combat. You command a number of warbands based on your hit point die. So if you're 3rd level, you get warbands. Command 3 warbands you can do. Hit die D4, D68, and this is the kind of warbands you can have. And the upgrades that are included. This is really elegant. Again, love it. Start with creatures of levels 1 through 5 that could form a combat unit. Double its level. It has 8 times level plus con, mod, and HP. So if it's a level 2, it would be 16, and if its con mod is 3, it would be a 19 for hit points. Set it to 1 attack per round. It can have multiple attack options to choose from. Increase its attack bonus in proportion to its new level. Triple its damage. Retrain its original talents. These do not count as upgrades. So these are the new warbands. You got mass combat and how to do it. You attacks, unique beings, initiative, morale, leadership. Maintaining, how much they cost. It's 10 gold times its level each month to feed and maintain. Kingdoms are doing this. You probably aren't doing this, right? Unless you're really rich from adventuring, like you're level 10s and we're now doing warbands. I could see a game where like your main PCs get to level 10, they have warband stuff going on, and you're going to war, and they've taken over parts of the Western Marches over the course of maybe a year of play. And now you have your bastion, and you're trying to spread out and make an area safe and have all the hexes be easy to travel in, put roads. And then everyone would make a second set of characters to go out in the Western Marches and continue doing what you were doing before. Really fun, or Western Reaches. Love it. So warband upgrades, accurate, ambush, armor upgrade. Okay, cool. They got some nice extra things you can put in here. Cool. What's rabble? An angry mob of ill-equipped peasants. This would be cool too if you were in like a city and you cause an uprising through like sowing and spreading rumors. And then you'd be like, all right, well, you guys have some rabble that are working for you to fucking do everything. But that Burn the Witch can disperse damage dice to a unique being that are in the warband so they can fight, or they can just kill the leader in that group. This, I really like this. Burn the Witch. Fun. New weapon properties for them. Mounted properties, armor properties, boat properties. Siege weapon properties. They put them all in one spot to kind of help you out. And then the end of the book. All right. We're going to go up. We are going to do view. I am going to do this. So we can see it. Actually, we're going to... No, let me take that back. We're going to leave this. Can I center this? I can. So I'm going to grab something in the other room, and then we're going to record my overview in like 15 minutes here. All right. I feel like this is going to be a pretty important review. Because of my audience. You know what I mean? And the people who watch the stuff that I do. So I'm going to record this one. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to say. I'm going to pause this. We're going to go back to Corpse Talk. And I want to start with this. I'm going to put the show ad on. We're going to start in solo. Nope, not that one. Full solo. Oh, for those who don't know, new merch is out. If you haven't checked it, go check it out. We have all the new merch. Oh, where do I have it at here? Hold on. There you go. All the new merch is there. I fixed the shipping. For some reason, Square changed all their shit, and it was doing international shipping for everyone. But I fixed it. It should work now. So check that out. The 2 mugs are out, and the tank top is out right now in 3 colors. Black, Sapphire is the darker blue, Lagoon is the green color. The green, teal, seafoam, whatever you want to call it. They call it Lagoon. So that's the 3. Check those out if you're interested. I figured it's summer. We might as well have some tanks for summer. I'm a tank top fan. I will say I really like the fabric for this tank top. It's probably one of my favorites. Let's also put this up to the thing I want. Yeah, it was so stupid. I fixed it though. It's fine now. If you spend $150, I think shipping's free. The way I have it set up. I want to put some on Diavoom here. What feels right for this game? Maybe a castle? No. Oh, this is cute, though. Select your character. My new retractable cables, so I can plug my phone in. And set it here sideways, so I still get the effects of it. I really like this. The retractable cables has been great. Do I want to record this? Instead of clipping it. I think I am going to. I'm going to record this. All right, starting recording. Show ad up. Play. Hey everybody, it's time. Kickstarter's funded. We have been waiting for it. Today we go over the player's guide for Western Reaches. If you were here for the live show, we dug through it, talked about a bunch of things, but I want to at least do a quick shout out. Korean chat, his Kickstarter's going on. The link will be down in the slab, and you can go back his amazing omnibus volume of all these great Underdark adventures. Kree, congrats, buddy. They look fucking amazing. Now, what we're here for, though, is to talk about Western Reaches. This is the player's guide out of the duo of the player's guide and the GM's guide. Why are we talking about this today? Well, we have been waiting for this for some time. We've been getting the Cursed Scrolls, which was 4, 5, and 6, the green, the purple, and the red. We've got those. And now we're getting the collection of all those things together with a bunch of added stuff as well. I do want to show something off because I feel people don't remember. This is a fucking collection. Yeah, I think my time's up. I can swear now, right? That's how this works. But there is a collection of pieces. It's not one thing. It's everything from all of the Cursed Scrolls put together into one kind of like almanac-y style so that you have everything together and your players can just reference it. So they did a Venn diagram, right? There's a point to this because people were asking questions. So let's jump over. Let's take a look at that. And then we will take a look at the actual brand new 200-page plus version of Western Reaches. I can't believe we're getting it. Bats, I feel like you should take us there. So, this is the Venn diagram. This is in one of their updates that explains what's going on, what we're getting. I'm gonna fucking 200% this, right? The Venn diagram will now look like this. Note, crucially, that the adventures unique to the Cursed Scroll zines will remain exclusive to them. Exclusive. Cursed Scroll zines 1 through 6. And then you have Western Reaches, what's in it? And then you have shared. Boats, mounts, gear, including poisons, new hex crawling rules. Thanks for the sub. New hex crawling rules. Zines 1 through 6. Zine spells 1 through 6. Mishaps. All zine hex crawls and zine monsters 1 through 6 are shared. We're not going to see all of them today. It's 2 books, bitches. There's 2 books. It's not 1 book. Why am I saying that? Let's scroll back out here. Let's go back into the campaign. And as you can see, looking at this, they break down what the 2 books are going to be. You have the Player's Guide and the GM Master's Guide. The Player's Guide is what we're looking at today. 18 core classes, 8 ancestry, gear list, spells for all, religious tenets and holy symbols and major gods, secrets and backgrounds, which I really love how they did that because I use that a lot in my games. Adventuring factions is new, gossip and everyday knowledge about the Reaches rather than lore. So, it's pretty fucking easy, everybody. This isn't rocket science. We're not breaking the mold here, but we sure as hell are collecting everything into one piece. I have went through this a few times now. I've been reading it since not this Sunday, but the Sunday before that it came out. I think this is the collector's edition cover because that's what I ended up doing. For those who have asked before the show, I'm using Foxit for what this is. You can see the map of the entire thing. You can tell the player's map of the Western Reaches. They have placed kind of where all the zines are as well, which I'm really happy with. We're gonna go into our view form here, and we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna take a look at this and make sure that we fit this to the page. And we're gonna talk about everything that's in here. I have some notes over on the other side of the screen here for things to hit up. I highlighted the shit out of this when we went through. For those who know the rules, the entire thing is hyperlinked, and when I say that, you have to drink. I guess coffee and tea is acceptable. We read the foreword and the introduction live on the show. If you want to know more about that, you're welcome to take a look at it. They're there. You can read them on your own. Our contents and what we get in here, our overview, our characters, which is all the new ancestries, all of the classes from all 6 zines, right? All 6 zines. But I will tell you, it does not have the classes from here. This core book is still its own thing. All right? You still need this. Don't think you can dodge it. Plus, it's awesome. Then you get your gear, all the basic gear and everything else. On new magic, there is a fucking shit ton of magic in here. 121 to, I think it's 186. All magic. Gods and patrons, and so on. So, why would I pick this up? Well, originally, I wasn't sure if I wanted this because I have everything. But I really like all my things in one spot. I said this during the live show. You should put them all together when you have what you believe your foundational pieces of your setting and system are going to be. Collect them into one thing. This is how it always used to be, and that's what we got here today. So we start with what everyone knows. Well, what does everyone know? Well, they bullet point it out, they number it, they talk about how the Reaches are ancient, there are faraway lands, it's dangerous out there, the world ends at the last sea, although the rumor is that's how you get to the gods' realm. No king has ever ruled all the Reaches, with the Bastion stuff that's in this book. In organizations, I could see your players trying to be a council of like knights or warriors or a guild or a king or a queen and take over. Could be a really fun way to play your game. The gods are distant, they're not every day, they don't walk around fuck with you. Ancient spirits and beings dwell here, which is really part of everything. They talk about the Willow Man in here, which, by the way, if you don't know who the Willow Man is, some fun stuff. I really like it. Magic is terribly dangerous. All your mishap tables, stuff like that is what they're speaking to. Non-humans aren't very common. Elves, dwarves, you don't often see them. We do get a traveler from time to time, and kids always want to ask them a barrel of questions. Then most Reaches are unexplored. They talk about life in the Reaches, your ancestry percentages if you want to randomly roll. And as someone who plays also a lot of Dragonbane, and I played a lot of good old Shadow the Demon Lord, randomly rolling your stuff is fun. But if you need to generate a new character because you die, you have a cute little table here to get it done. They talk about the social structure, civilizations that do exist. These are ones pulled from other zines. And we get into our characters. What is different in every ancestry? It's pretty simple. You got your ancestry still. Now you got the cool trinkets for everything. A PC may start with 1 trinket. It's free to carry. Free to carry. Don't let your GM tell you otherwise. I would be the GM and tell you it would take a space and then you would throw this in my face. But they have these for all of them, which is really fun. So dwarf, elf, goblin, half-elf is new. They're new talent. You roll your talent twice and choose which one you want. Best of both worlds. That's the concept behind this. Really fun. Half-orc ancestry, halfling ancestry, human, and now we have kobolds. Their new one is you get a +1 to spellcasting checks or may begin each session with a luck token. So you pick This is one of those ones where you're choosing. My question for Knack is, for clarity, do I choose each morning? Because I'm assuming you choose this on character creation. And then you got your names and your Cobalt trinkets. We rolled a ball of wax when we did our show, when we were doing it live. Then we get into our classes. You've seen all of these classes if you are part of the Kickstarter, or you've been following when Kelsey is making things during her live streams. But we have our Bard, which we've had one played in our shows before. The Basilisk Warrior, which I really enjoy. You can actually get a Basilisk. You can see a little bastard right there. Delver class, which is great. I love some of the abilities in here. It's such a great way to showcase a fucking survivor in Shadowdark. Scavenger, when you expend the last of your consumable item you've carried since your last rest, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, you regain 1 use because you're just picking things up off the ground and making sure you find the things that you need. Trailblazer is kind of like rogue abilities, but except for you, it's climbing, swimming, and foraging and finding stuff. And then Trusty Gear. You got 1 piece of gear you wield. You get a +1 plus half your level rounded down on checks or attack rolls made with that kind of gear or weapon. So it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be your sword. It could be like the crowbar in her hand, or maybe a wand, or something that you know how to use that you have. Super, super fun. We've seen the Desert Rider. The Duelist class is, I think, it's this or the Necromancer, one of my 2 favorite classes. This piece has so much in it. It's elegant combinations. And I've said elegant a lot during this because I feel like Kelsey has really polished her writing style as I've read through this, even more so than the big black book that we have here. I feel like she's just found the wording and everything just feels concise. Best part, they get daggers, they get swords, they get leather armor or mithril chain, same weight. D8 hit points, your melee. And then once per day, an attack of your choice that would hit you misses instead. That misses, this part right here, this is the shit that makes this class sing. Tail Spinner, you can tell a tale about yourself on a Charisma 15. People around you, if they're unknown to you, think you're famous and important, but you can only do this once to a person. You can never do it again. And then you have Taunt. When an enemy misses you with an attack, you have advantage on attacks against that enemy next round. Now, this means if they naturally miss you, but if you want to make sure to show off, you could parry that person immediately and then, boom, get an advantage on your attack against them. And the cool thing is you can get extra uses of that a day, but down here, this baby right here, is roguelike quality. +1 d6 damage when you hit with a taunt. This is your 10 to 11 roll when you're getting your abilities. If you're half elf, roll twice and hunt for that thing, right? She might even be a half elf, speaking of which. But that means that you can parry, taunt, boom, good to go. 1 combo, really fun. Really nails that duelist class. The Green Knight is kind of like the druid in here. A lot of fun. The spells for druid are really cool as well. Like the knight, the Saint Idris, you do not get ability or spells at first level. We've seen this in Curse Scroll 1. Archer we've seen before. The new monk is a lot of fun. I was really impressed. This guy reminds me a little bit of Dalsim from Street Fighter. You get your wisdom bonus to your class like you expect and all the things that you do. You automatically start with a magic weapon that's a +0. Your fists are 0s, but that means you can hit spirits and things that you need to hit. And then your hands get more magical as you go along throughout the class. You're going to see this used again for the Paladin later on. But Still Heart is powerful. You can stop your metabolism for a total number of rounds per day equal to your level, and you gain these benefits. You don't breathe, swim underwater longer, delay onset poisons. Remember, when you have poison and you fall down, you die. If you drop to 0 hit points, you don't fall unconscious or begin dying until the effect ends, so that means you can fight at 0 hit points. Then Sun on the Water is your ability to reflect melee attacks or range attacks and deal it back to them by using your attack bonus. You can get quicker speed with a 2 and some other bonus stuff in here like additional uses of Sun on the Water. If you have not went back and watched Kelsey build the Necromancer class, I'll probably link it in the slab below. One of my favorite things. Look, She has found a way to make the Necromancer class something more than what we see in pop culture. I know she based it around the novel. I can't remember what that novel is. But you're more of like a reaper or a shepherd that takes spirits back and forth between I think she calls it's the something river. I can't remember what it is, but Living World, Shores of Living World, their warrior mages guided the dead to their final rest or call them back from the dark waters again to walk in life. The Eternal River. You get spells, you get all these cool abilities. The Necromancer trait's awesome. River of Death, you're used to going in and out, so you don't die at 0 con. You roll a d6 for your death timer instead of a d4. It's a really fun thing that you get here. And they get a cool ability, which we'll look at in a sec, but when you die, there's a chance that you, like a revenant, come back from the dead. Who doesn't fucking want that? I fucking want that in real life. So you can see here, the Necromancer class got all this fun stuff, and they get the ability to come back if you have a roll 1, and you stock that aside. Super fun. I can see myself drawing in the corner on my sheet like I have a death left. Paladin class, really hard to design to make it feel good. And they now have a chivalric oath that you use. All the weapons you expect, all armors and shields. And they have specific weapons as well. They have inspiring presence. That means on 18 through 20, a person stands back up, but they stand, instead of with 1 hit point, they stand with your charisma bonus and hit points, telling them to get back up at war. I kind of wonder if this works for the warband section in this book. I feel like it should. I don't know. I'd have to read over that as a GM, but if you could rally all your people to stand back up, that would be really fun. Enemies near you lose immunity to morale checks. That means things that are never scared of people, like dragons and stuff, they have to make morale checks because you're too strong. You get a horse that's a lovely demeanor, which is super fun. You can get new ones if it passes, dies, or you retire it. And then it gets easier the more you do it. And then you get a named blade. Similar to the monk, magic weapon starts at 0. Gets better as you go, but unlike the monk, at 3rd level, your magic weapon gains benefits from this book. And that's all the cool magical benefits that you expect to see. You can get more of them on the magic item at a 2, and so on. Really fun. Pit fighter class we've seen, still some of my favorite art. This girl is ready to just mess people up. Ranger class is the one that can do all the cool herbal remedy stuff. I like this ranger class a lot. The assassin class, Raz Godai, I think is how it's pronounced. There where poisons were introduced. A lot of cool things that you can see through here. The Roustabout, a fun class. As you know, I rolled all 13s. If you've watched my Breacher's Living Wall, if you want to know how Shadowdark is played, I have an entire series where I am playing with the audience. And our Roustabout has got 13 straight across in one of those. I also have them as an NPC you can play when I run my Breacher's games at conventions. Seawolf, Seer, Warlock, Witch, Weirdling. All these are from other Curse Scrolls. Really fun, though, if you haven't checked them out. The Pseudopod kind of Underdarky class for the Weirdling is really fun. And then they gave us a bunch of backgrounds. But unlike normal backgrounds where it's just a table, they split it based on what you're from. Desert, swamp, island, ocean, grassland. And then on the next page, you got mountain, forest, jungle, and civilization. And then secrets. We rolled on this table. As you all know, Secret is something that has really taken hold of my shows. And really hard since we did the Dual Dragonlance show. There's a shirt you can buy that gets you into the private Discord when we do after show stuff. But the secrets in shows, I think, make things sing. We rolled in this one. You helped a friend in a heist, but you took the fall for it. Fun little things you can add your characters. All the titles are on one page. I talked about this during the live show, but I didn't realize how much fun titles are for in-world things, because you can say who you are, your importance, and it gives you something to role play with, but it's so simple and cut from so many games. So you can see all those that are in one spot. Factions. A lot of people have been waiting to see like your thieves guilds and things like this. You can tell that she put some time into this. The team at Arcane Library and Kelsey and all them. The most sexy part of this is a new leader must make a DC 15 check for a peaceful transfer of power. On failure, the faction splits into 2 rogue factions, fighter factions. But when they get too old and they want to hand over the blade to the warrior guild of the Obsidian Hilt, you can do that. They even have a mission, a symbol, and a leader for faction generator. Like on a 17, destroy a creature, and you roll the symbol. It's like destroy a creature. They are the vampire bat, and they are a master thieves is the leader. It's a master thief. They have samples in here. They have in-world information on them. And again, I remind, this is the player's guide. So you're going to see the bard, the missions, and what there is. Every person, you take your total levels of the players, add them together, and that is the benefit as long as you're in good standing. If you have 2 people, you can get that 10 and 20. 10 you can get on your own, 20 with 2. 3 people, you can get to 34. You can get to 40. People argued about this. I think it's kind of cool, because then you're trying to convince your friends to join. Because why wouldn't we want faction members who sleep at your bastion have a +2 to all their carousing rolls? And then you have other organizations that you can be a part of as well throughout this book. Pretty simple, pretty clean. All the gears are in place. The one thing I didn't look at during the live show is I made a lance for my dragoons. Their lance is 15 1d12 damage, CDM, and it takes 3 slots. Ooh, that's a lot. If you have a mount, not that bad. C is charge. You can only attack with this weapon after moving at least near distance. It doesn't have to be mounted. You have to run to do anything with it, though. Devastating. This weapon deals ×4 damage on a critical hit. Then destroyed. I don't know how much I like that. Wooden lances do that. Metal lances don't blow up quite the same, but teach their own. You can always repair it, right? All you need is a spell. And then you got M for this as well. It's not rated mature. The weapon can only be used while vehicle mounted. Immediately taking my words back. Apparently, you have to be mounted. I've seen people fight with lances off a mount, though. All your poisons, your armors are all added into here, including that sexy, sexy shield that can break. And then we also looked up that staves and staves are different. Staves are crap. Staves, you actually can sunder things when you get hit. Pretty fun. All the mounts got brought back into this. Lovely is that demeanor that you were talking about earlier when you're getting your mount for your paladin. And then we have boats. Each HP is equivalent to a passenger, so a 5 can carry 5 people. Such an elegant way to handle boats and what they do. A canoe can carry 10 people. That is a big canoe. Big canoe. Right? So, pretty fun that's what it is. My question with this is, technically speaking, carrying a body takes 4 slots. So, does a passenger take 4 slots? And is it really 5 people fit in that canoe? I think that's what that's trying to say. Comment down below if you think that the passengers is a 1-for-1. Is that 20 people on a canoe? That's a Viking canoe, boys and girls. That is a big-ass, long rowboat. 20 people don't fit on a canoe unless it's a bigger one. So that's like a row team. Let me know what you think that is. I think it's 4 slots per person. But that's just me. And then they added our siege weapons. Really fun. They're a gold piece per for ammunition. You can take 10 rounds to disassemble it. You can split up that between different carts and re-put them back together. You can't move them unless they're disassembled. Really good damage on them. And any die, if it has exploding, which 2 of them do, the ballista and trebuchet, you re-roll any max die that you get, showing the devastation of what they are. Then we get into magic. All of the spells in one spot is so fucking nice. And specifically, all the new necromancer spells are here. I also like to remind people, count the tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you ever need a random spell, just roll on the table a d6. Every one of them has 6. It's pretty awesome that they did that. I think wizards normally have a 12. This is different, though. Priest, because we're getting gods later on, they split new priest spells between lawful, neutral, and chaos. Chaotic. So that's pretty fun, and you're going to see this repeated later on. Again, for them, they're D4 tables. Notice that. I don't know if people do. I do. And then I think they're 12 like a wizard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, they're 10. D10. This one I think is a little less. Super fun. All the spells in one spot for you. Really cool. There's also cards in the Kickstarter if you missed that. Druids are your neutral. This is what the Green Knight is using. They're wizard spells. Mages are lawful. These are spells here that can be picked. And then sorcerers are chaotic. And I believe all these are new spells to Shadowdark. Your mishaps are in here. They also add the necromancer one in there as well. And then we get into gods and patrons on page 189. We're a little over halfway through the book already. Madeira, the Covenant. Now, you'll see the squiggle that I have there, and it's pretty simple. I kind of wish they would have put the pronunciation of all the gods and things like this below. There's space there, and I feel like pronunciations are something that we argue about ever since Planescapes. Is it sigil? Is it sigil? You have to go find things and talk to people and find it yourself. I just wish we had pronunciations. Just me, though. It's just me. So you can see a breakdown. I'm only going to do one of these, but I'll scroll through them. Madeira the Covenant, you have your tenets and what you do, what they are in the reaches, the setting that we are playing in. You have your penance for the tier of spell, and the penance, like 1, cleanse all rust and rot and damage from your equipment. So you sit and for a day polish all of your stuff. But on a 5, locate a lawless settlement, convert their leaders to Madeira, and enshrine their laws in written form, bringing them to law and order. 3 holy days, and a prayer generator, like, so says the covenant, justice shall overcome darkness. And it gives you cool things that your people who follow these deities can say. I did highlight this for the arguments on Glass Cannon Podcast. You know, because Geed is a girl. That's why it's G. Just saying. After that, we get into Ord and all the other ones that are in here, which is super fun. We go through them a little more detail in the live show. Again, link down to the slab. And then I just skipped, but we get into our patrons. Patrons are the things that you are warlocking and where you can pick your patrons from. Really fun. There are a shit ton of patrons in here. I didn't realize how many that existed. Some of them are either even deities that you can have as a patron. Willow Man is probably my personal favorite. It's Slender Man, let's be real. But you get teleporting to a far location you can see as you move. And then we get into the gameplay stuff. So, not controversy, but we should talk about this. During the live show, talked to Nick, the gentleman I talked about earlier, I noticed that a lot of these rules are some are updated from this book and some are new. And I remember her mentioning somewhere that she really wanted to touch more on her hex crawling and extra rules to give us more. They may be optional, but reading them, I would make them required to use because they're so clean. They fall in 2-page container spreads. They're well done. I would bookmark them when this comes live to my house. For those who don't know, I use darts for all of my books, the little metal darts, so I can flip through up top and it pops to those chapters. This would be one of those chapters that I have set up to go. And here's why. So, Hex Crawl is the first section. They break down weather, and if you ever have really good weather, like a 6 roll, you roll twice with advantage. Why? Because if it's already excellent weather, why wouldn't you want excellent weather to continue? They break down entering a hex, how food and water works, that you take con damage, you die at 0. You can forage as part of your walk. This is, again, why the Delver could be really fun in this stuff as well, or the Ranger. You can push, which is how far you can move. They talk about hex visibility and what it is, and the cost to enter a hex. Because of if it's difficult terrain, it costs 2 hexes to enter. This is fun. A hex is 6 miles across, so this gives you an idea of space and what you're dealing with. On top of that, they have climate and what it is. Also, the islands of Andrak are specific to the setting, and they break down what this is and how when you're underground, when season changes, you take charisma damage as you just start getting sunken eyes and your skin gets pale. You're not made for it because you're a surface dweller. And then you have climate in the reaches as well, and you can roll out what they are and kind of how they are, what the springs are, not roll, but what the spring, fall, summer, and winter are. Then they set up camping, and they teach you what camping is. They also give you your actions and tasks that you can do. Cost 3 torches to set up your campfire, or 2 if you're a dungeon chef from Breachers. Just saying, you can go pick those up. There's links somewhere. But in all honesty, the bedding, the cooking, the crafting. Crafting answers the can I make torches question and ammunition that we've had for so long. You also have entertaining to gain a luck to people. And then firewood, hunt, keep watch, and predict. I could see seers and people like that using predict. Basically, it's an int or wisdom, and you can force a reroll of tomorrow's weather at learning the result. It's like us arguing about the weather app on our phone because they're never fucking right. And then they go into the procedure of how the procedure works. And then they talk about fast travel. In hex-based games, specifically in West Marches or hex-based map travels, once you've been somewhere, it is assumed in old school gaming that you can travel there quicker because you've done it before. You know the paths, you know the safe routes, and all that stuff is not unexplored. Once this has been done and you pass through, they have rules in here for making travel faster through hexes that you've done, getting back to the edge of the unknown. And in that procedure, they talk about what kind of rations, how much you would use, how drain works, and that you can scavenge during that time frame. Then after they've taught you all the rules, they break down travel procedure. I would like to remind everybody, everything is linked in this, allowing you to easily navigate this on your phone or on your PC during games if you don't have the physical book yet, or you just don't like traveling with all the fucking books. All the steps, 8-step process for the travel procedure and how it works, and then we get into the new rules of renown. We've already seen this in Cursed Scroll 6, but they break it down, talk about how it works and what it is. Basically, it adds to reaction rolls and then to your carousing rolls. I was kind of hoping organizations, but apparently not. Downtime is all the cool ways to train. Again, same Cursed Scrolls. They put it in here for your players. And my only argument in this one is I really wish that carousing was not in this book. Here's why. I think the carousing, maybe the cost should be in here and how it functions, but I don't want the outcomes, because to me as the GM, this is my part of the table where my job is to help the carousing benefits and tell people what's in them. And I rather have seen this in the GM side. Because sometimes when they roll the carousing benefit of, let's say, a 14, a street cat befriends you, you can't be surprised for a week, but there's no animals in this undead area that you're doing. I would then read above, and I guess you can make it a bone cat, I know the argument, but I usually do the capstones of 13 through 15, and I'd be like, oh, the priest makes a revelry of worship, gain a priest ally, or maybe 16, you distract the thieves guild mark, gain a thief ally. You know, one of those is better, and I want to be able to pick those and change the verbiage without the players reading it so I can keep that emergent play going. Pet peeve, but I would just tell players not to look at this. That's my personal belief. Then we get into the last part of the book, bastions. Huge part of old school gaming. They brought bastions in. You can get one. They kept the idea with the boats, where again you're dealing with AC and HP, and they can be repaired. 1 gold is 1 HP. It takes a week and costs that. You can upgrade them. They provide safety from weather and random encounters, so you can sleep there. Obviously, a GM can still have a bad guy knock on your fucking door, but overall they should be safe. Random encounters aren't happening, only planned ones is probably the best way to say that. And then on a once a month, disaster strikes. Here's the different styles, the different upgrades you can get, and then we get into war bands. While I don't see this happening out of the gate, I can see you getting assigned by a city with some war bands, or maybe during a fight in a city you might rally people to fight with you. Really clean way to write it out. I would love to see a little character sheet for these made. If somebody hasn't done that yet, or if you have, put it in the comments. I want warband sheets with the math at the top. I think that's fun. Then you got your mass combat. Maintaining the cost, it's per month, 10 gold times a level. Teaches you how to teach its level. You're doubling it based on where you pulled them from. The limits of what a town can have, and these are the limits of what you can have based on your hit die, similar to your downtime actions. Couple pages of this as they break them down. My favorite was the rabble. They have Burn the Witch. You can dispense damage dice to unique beings that are in the warband. Fucking awesome. And that carries through all the different properties that we have to the end of the book. So look, what do I think about this book? What do I think? That's what this comes down to, right? I like this. I think it's important. I think that this collection of what is in there, not from this stays by itself, but from all the Cursed Scrolls, is a pretty important thing to have to make it simpler at your table. This also gives a lower bar of entry for your players just to pick up that book. I am curious when you go to purchase these in stores or online after the Kickstarter, that they're going to be sold as a bundle of players and GMs together, or if they're going to be kept separate. Overall, everything in here is great. All the new classes, all the options, all of the new rules are awesome. I love the secrets and the backgrounds being split up. It's just a good book. People are going to argue and tell you, it's going to be in the core book. That person can go fuck themselves. The unsubscribe is down below. It is here so that everything is collected. As zines come out, it gets hard to carry them with you or have them at the table. Sure, it's great for that person playing the one class that's in there, or you're running the adventure that is in there. But really, everything collected together is so good that you want it in a book like this core one. The rules to the games are in here. That's the, I don't want to say advanced guide, but it's definitely the step up from here with options. It's a great piece. I'm happy that I did the Kickstarter. I'm really excited for the GM's version. I want to see how Kelsey writes a setting out after 6 full adventures being put together between the Arcane Library crew. So that's it for this. But hey, before we leave, I do need to give a thank you. Let's go over to the other table and talk about some stuff. These wonderful people that are about to scroll on the screen and how I do all the shit that I do. We got a new subscriber today. Thank you and welcome to the channel. I do reviews the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week of every Wednesday, and we do live shows the same 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on Mondays. When I'm out of the summertime, Thursdays become available as we start doing our co-op play with Shadowdark and Athantia, my 2 lovely settings that we do, Breachers. I gotta say, this month I put out a Shadowdark piece. If you are a subscriber over here on my Patreon, Eric Frankhouse Presents, you get access to the 8-Legged Queen, the Gen Con event that I will be running. I'm super excited about this. This is the short version, because this adventure that I designed is all about a short, medium, and long play. 3 to 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, and then 8+ for the full version. The concept is a level 0 gauntlet, and by the time you've died enough with those level 0 characters, you unlock your level 1 by cutting them out of cocoons from the 8-Legged Queen. These different modes of plays also have different boss fights at each length, and then different story endings at each length. Obviously, the 8+ gives you the entire wedding experience. This is fun. It's a new design style. I really enjoyed putting it together, but you can also find my Athantia doc on there that has been redone for Dragonbane for my Soul Punk Victorian horror setting. Currently, we're doing Season of the Cult on Monday nights. And then Breachers, if you are already a subscriber at 5+, you got the PDF for free. That's it from me here on Corpse Talk Live. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comments down below. Did you love something that you saw in here? Do you know if it's 4 person per slot on that boat? Because I think a person counts as 4, because that's what it is to carry a dead body. That's it from me here. If you're live, stick with me. To the rest of you, as always, stay fucking rotten. All right. Stop that recording. So, guys, pretty fun. A little longer review, but this is a big book, and I wanted to make sure I gave it the love that it deserved. I'm going to go fire up the grill. I'm smoking 3 racks of ribs tonight, so we can do chili and a bunch of other things with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this look into it. I really, really am happy that this book is out. I feel like it's going to draw more people to Shadowdark. And I think we need more people at Shadowdark, because I don't know about you, after the Ravenloft release for 5e, again, for the 40th time, and how they want to do everything, I have no desire to support that company anymore. That's it for me, guys. Stay fucking rotten, and I'll see you not next week, but the week after. Check me out over the Discord. Maybe we'll watch some more Tales from the Crypt this week. Bye, everybody. Bats.